We're Chris and Sarah, a husband and wife duo who just last week finished our second van build.
In June of 2020, we sold our first van, and 3 days later, we bought our brand new 2019 144 4x4 Sprinter van,
which we've been converting into our adventure mobile / home on wheels for the last 15 months.
Today, we're finally giving you the official van tour and showing off all that we've squeezed into this little van, including
an 800 amp hour battery bank, indoor shower and toilet,
queen size bed, air conditioner,
2-bike gear garage, and more.
Let's get going.
Hey y'all, welcome to our van. All right, so we're finally in our new van. We've been on the road a week today and we are in Montana. We booked it across the country and we have been staying put. We are up in the woods. Exact location not disclosed. So before we get started in the van tour, I do want to mention that the links to most of the products are down in the description below. If you have a question about a product, please feel free to drop it in the comments below. We'll do our best to answer all of those questions. And if you're looking for a more comprehensive guide to all the products, links to the products, the pricing, where we found it, all that good stuff, we have a free downloadable spreadsheet. So if you'd like to take a look at that and just sort of essentially pick our brains of what products we use, there's a link for that as well in the description below. So let's go. So when you walk in, on the left side, you have an outlet, which we use for cooking and charging laptops and that kind of thing. And then next to it, we have our light switch, which is dimmable, and it's operated by an RF transmitter, which we have located in the back with the rest of our electrical components. So that light switch can be mounted anywhere. It's wireless. We chose just inside the door so that when you open the door, you can easily turn on the lights if it's dark. And then on the right side, when you walk in, we have our passenger seat on a swivel seat, which is a game changer. It adds a little extra seating when we're hanging out in the van, and it's gonna be a great workspace too. And then beneath the swivel seat, we have our S-Bar D2 heater. We had this in our first van. We love this heater. It can be a little finicky when you're installing it, but overall, we highly recommend this thing, and so we went with the exact same one again. So above the cab of the van, we have our headliner shelf, which also has this pre-attached curtain rod, which is really nice. We use this little blackout curtain if we're just hanging out working in the van, we want a little privacy somewhere, or if we just want to block a little extra light out when we're sleeping in. On the headliner shelf, we store some of our bulky things that just sort of get in the way, but we need to get to pretty frequently. So things like Kramer's dog food, our gym bags for showering, our window curtains, which we'll show you guys in a minute. They go in all of our different windows. Just all these bulky things that just sort of get in the way, that don't fit in a drawer, we just sort of toss them up there and it works great. So something we changed up in this van versus our first van is we ended up purchasing the window covers instead of making them ourselves. We purchased these from Strawfoot and they are amazing. And they were a splurge, but they were 100% worth it. In fact, we're gonna go back and rebuy the cab curtains from them as well. At first, we weren't sure if we wanted to buy them. We're like, are they really gonna be that good? But they're that good, trust me. So this is just the sliding door one, just to show you. So they're magnetic and they just clip all around the window and they keep all the light out, and then they also better insulate the van. A nice little feature about it is it does bend in half. So if you want to still use the venting window while you're cooking or something, you can. Behind me, or where I'm at right now, is our dining room, living room, office space. And if we want to, we can actually both fit on this seat. It's really not that small. It's 40 something inches long. I don't remember the exact dimension, but we can both sit here comfortably. There's one thing that we haven't added to this area yet that we plan to add. We've actually already purchased it, is a Lagoon table mount. We aren't really sure where we're gonna mount that yet. Our original thought was on the back side of this bench, and then the bench would use the tabletop, and then we thought maybe we should mount it so the passenger seat could use a tabletop instead. So we have the mount. We're gonna add a tabletop as a better workspace, dining area. We just haven't decided the exact location yet, so we're kind of enjoying the van, getting a feel for the layout, the movement of it, and then we'll decide where we're gonna put the tabletop. Behind this box, we have our trash can. We keep our front curtains just for blocking out the front of the cab. These are very old. They're from our first van. We plan to replace them with Strawfoot curtains just like we have in the rest of our van. We just haven't ordered them yet. That will be coming soon. This is probably one of the coolest things about our van. inside this bench is our bathroom. So it has our shower and our toilet, and then just during the day, it also holds our dirty laundry. So let me show you. We just remove the pillow. Usually we just toss it on the bed. And then this can just pretty much go anywhere. It's made of sil leather. It's really durable. Kramer has been hopping up and down on this with his toenails and not even a scratch. So we just usually put it over here, and then inside the box is our bathroom, which doesn't look like anything fancy, but it actually works really well. So we have a Thetford porta potty cassette toilet, which is the same kind we had last time, but it's a different model of the Thetford. We were going to use the exact same toilet we had last time, but it was actually too tall to fit inside the shower box when it arrived at our house. So we had to buy a different Thetford. So we usually keep our laundry just in here because laundry can get kind of stinky when you run and hike and that kind of thing. So we can move that out. And then inside here we have a shower mat, wooden mat thing, so that you're not standing on the wet shower pan if it's still drying out if you have to use the toilet. So the shower curtain, we actually just store it next to the toilet during the day, but there's 4 little hooks that are on the ceiling, and we just hook the shower curtain to the ceiling. Nothing crazy, it's actually super easy. And usually, pretty much every time we're gonna shower will probably be at night. I rarely in our first van do we ever shower in the morning. So when we're showering in the evening, we'll just leave the shower curtain up. It lets it dry out overnight, lets the shower pan dry out overnight, and then the next day we just fold it up, stick it next to the toilet, and we're good to go. Our shower curtain, we did choose one that could be washed in the laundry, so hopefully that'll cut down on it mildewing fast. I'm hoping that it'll last longer. So that's the plan. Time will tell. So inside here, oops, we have our shower. It's got hot and cold water. It's all the way out. And it's got great water pressure. Sorry. When we're done, it just goes back in here. So yeah, that's our bathroom. So moving back into the van, this is sort of our kitchen area, which can also double duty as a standing working area, which we've been using this a good bit, and I actually really am glad. We have this giant countertop. We have our kitchen sink, which is made of quartz, it's black, and we have our kitchen faucet, which comes off and has the spray nozzle. So we have hot and cold water that go to the kitchen faucet and to the shower. And then beneath the kitchen sink, it's kind of tight in here, so I don't know how much you can see, but beneath the kitchen sink, we have storage, and this is sort of all of our kitchen gear. We've got our plates, bowls, silverware, cooking utensils, so things like spatulas, measuring cups, all that good stuff is right there. And then in the bottom, we keep a couple of cleaning supplies, paper towels, our stovetop, and our pots and pans. And we only brought one like soup size pot and then one frying pan, and that's pretty much all we need. A lot of people will opt for a 2i induction cooktop, or they'll even have an induction cooktop built into the countertop. We didn't want that because 1, I don't really love to cook, and 2, I really wanted to be able to use this for a standing desk. That's really important to both of us. We both work with lots of hard drives and camera gear and all that good stuff, so having maximum counter space was very important to us. So everything, kitchen, utensils, dishes, that is all down here, with the exception of our cups and mugs are up here above the kitchen sink. And then we have a few toiletries that we use at night. So things like toothbrushes, lotion, allergy medicine, that kind of stuff we just keep up there. Beneath the counter right here, we have the Isotherm Freeline 115. And this is the exact same fridge we had in our first van. But we chose the 115 because it has a much bigger freezer than the 130. So the 130 is a little bit bigger space-wise, but the freezer portion is really important to us because we freeze, fruits and veggies and ice cream and pizza occasionally. Just having that full width of the fridge box freezer is really convenient. And then to the left of the fridge, we have 3 drawers. The first one is our media cabinet. And we're showing you guys this. We're showing you this. People would be like, why are you showing everybody your expensive gear? Because if this van, our rule is that if this van is not an eyesight to us, all the stuff is in our backpacks. All the stuff fits in our backpacks. So if we were to leave the van and it is not an eyesight, all this goes with us. It goes on a hike. It goes to a coffee shop where we have to walk around the corner. We don't leave all this in here. We like to store it in here when we can because we charge our batteries very easily off the outlet above it, which was kind of the idea when we were designing these cabinets. Is we wanted to have a really close place to charge all of our electrical gear. The second drawer is our grocery drawer. So we do a lot, which mostly looks like just chips right now, but there's other stuff in there too. And then the bottom drawer is all of my stuff. So this is all my clothes and packing cubes, my toiletries for the gym, my pajamas. They all go in that one drawer, which makes me look like I pack really light. Kind of impressed it all fits in one drawer. And in case y'all don't know, this is our dog Kramer. This is the bedroom section of the van. First two cabinets are Chris's clothes cabinets. So he uses packing cubes just like I do, and he just stores all of his clothes up there. And it looks like he packs more than I do. He does not. These upper cabinets hold surprisingly little. Very little, actually. We were very surprised by that when we got them. This is a queen size bed. We sleep sideways in this van versus front to back in our first van because we opted to add flare spaces to our bed, which was a huge addition. It sort of gives you an entire extra foot or foot and a half in your van interior. So if we were sleeping front to back, our bed would be about 6.5 feet into the van. But since we're sleeping side to side, it's only 5 feet because the width of a queen bed is 5 feet. So it bumps out on the sides, which you can see on the exterior. They're fiberglass. We had them installed by Site 7 in Chattanooga, a van conversion company. So when we picked our flare spaces, they have the option for CR Lawrence windows, and there's another window option, but we had the same CR Lawrence slider windows on our first van. We loved them. So this flare trim ring actually has 2 USB ports on each side. So we have 4 USBs in this one flare trim ring. And we also have 2 little puck lights that are just touch sensored, which are great little reading lights at night. You will notice this fabric on the flare spaces. That is part of the flare space bundle. So in our bundle from Flare Space includes our bed platform. It includes the fabric to line the flares. It includes the flares, the windows if you want it. And then we added the add-ons of the USB and the lights. Oh, and the mattress. The mattress is actually flare space too. So it's custom cut to go into the flare, and then also like the back door area to maximize space in here. So thank you, Flare Space. That's such a cool package. That is available on their website. We'll link all this down below. Something we decided to reorganize a little bit in our new van versus our first van is we sort of added this mission control panel, and we wanted it right next to the bed so we could access it in the morning if we need to turn on the fan or the heater, the AC. So this is our Victron monitor. It sort of tells us how our batteries are doing. So we've got 90% of our batteries right now. We're pulling 34 watts. Our battery's at 13.3 volts. It's super fancy compared to our last one. This is a really nice upgrade. So thank you, Victron. All of our electrical components in our van, except for our solar panels and our battery, are Victron. For those, we used Battleborn for the batteries and Zamp for the solar panels, but we'll get to that in a minute. And then we have our SBAR D2 heater controller right here. It's really handy in the morning when you don't want to sleep with the heater on. You just turn it on and the van warms up before you have to get out of bed. I love that. Last time we had it underneath the driver's seat, and so one of us had to get out of bed in the cold and turn on the heater and then hop back in bed. And I love this. So these 2 little switches, this one is our water pump. That was an addition last time. Our switch for our water pump was in the back of the van. And why this is important, in case you don't know, is that if you run out of water in your water tanks, your pump will keep going and going and going and going and going and burn out the motor until you fill up the water tank again. So if that happens and we're a good ways away from filling up water, which typically we're rarely just right next to a water fill station, we can just turn this off so the pump does not burn out. And then below this is our electric ball valve. And we put an electric ball valve on our gray water tank this time because we use biodegradable soaps. So if we're driving down the road or something like that, we can safely, responsibly dump our gray water tank. Right here we have our Max Air fan remote, and this is our Nomadic cooling AC unit remote. So you'll notice we have 4 puck lights. They are dimmable, and they're specifically dimmable. So if you don't buy dimmable specific lights, they make like this really high pitched noise. And then directly above me, we have our Max Air Fan Deluxe, which it can be operated right here with the buttons in the ceiling. So the cabinets are made of birch plywood, and then they're finished in this laminate coating. For these, we chose like this wood looking, it's got kind of a cool texture even to the touch. So we chose the white for the front of the lower drawers. And this white is fingerprint proof. It does get dirty, as you can tell, pretty easily. We always keep magic erasers on hand because you have to kind of scrub it off, and I see I missed some stuff here. But overall, the white has held up really well. So the countertops are a thin, solid surface, very durable. They are white, and similar to the cabinet fronts, we have to keep magic eraser in here. I kind of was expecting the countertops just to wipe clean, but you do have to scrub them with magic eraser. So I think that if I changed anything, it would probably be the countertop color in here. Lesson learned, it's really not too bad. They're solid and they hold up really well so far. For the walls and the ceiling, we used 1/4 inch birch plywood, and then we sanded it several times, primed it with Kills to keep any moisture and mildew out, just sort of protects the wood a little bit better. And then we painted it with Sherwin-Williams paint, and we sanded it between each coat of primer and paint. And it takes a long time. It's very labor intensive, but it ends up looking very smooth and not really like wood. It almost has like, it almost looks like sheetrock or something in your van. Like the paint goes on like sheetrock. And then the floors, this time we used coin flooring, and it's durable. It doesn't scuff. It is dirty, and so you have to scrub it too and keep it clean. But it's not that bad. It's doing what we wanted to do so far. It's the adventure van we wanted. And then what you can't see in this van, so we used Havelock sheep wool for our insulation, which was a change from our first van where we did spray foam insulation. Havelock wool is natural, it's more cost efficient, and it does a great job. And it works really well in humid, moist climates. So a lot of people ask if they do a vapor barrier with their Havelock sheep wool. No, you do not. It breathes really well. So you don't want to press the Havelock wool down when you install it. Give it some room to breathe, and it'll be perfect in your van. Another one of our favorite things we put in this van was an AC unit. This was very important in this van, primarily for this little guy. Our Nomadic cooling AC unit is the 3000 model, and it's mounted right here. So just to tell you guys a little bit about that, in case you aren't aware of who Nomadic Cooling is, they are sort of a newcomer on the RV van life scene, but we love their product for the quality of it, how well it works, and then also the customer service. The customer service has been through the roof, off the charts, amazing. We had one minor little issue. I think it was user error. It was definitely user error. They called us back immediately. They just are great people. So part of what makes this AC unit so great is that it mounts flush to the ceiling. So if you're installing it above the bed, which we highly recommend, you want to save as much space as possible. So there's mounts flush. It's got 4 little places where the air comes out, and then it can control from the front panel. Like there's a button there to turn it on and change the modes, or you can use the remote, which is right here. It's really quiet. We're still learning this AC unit, but we can say so far we are thrilled with the product. That is a 100% honest review. If you have more questions about that, drop it in the comments. We'll do our best to answer it there. But we're also gonna do an FAQ video after this van tour where we answer the most popular questions about our van build. And I know we're gonna get questions about the AC unit. So if you have those, drop them down below and we'll do our best to answer those. But for now, 2 thumbs up on that one. Do you wanna show them the outside of the van? Staring at. So next we're gonna hop back into the back of the van and check out the garage, which is all of our water and our electric and all of our fun outdoor gear. But first, we wanna show you this side of the garage, the part that's accessible from inside the van. So we have this bin, and it's kind of messy looking, but it works really well. It's just a bin of all of our different shoes, because in any given day, we'll probably wear at least 3 different pairs of shoes between our shower shoes, our running shoes, and whatever street shoes we're wearing that day. So having all of that easily accessible versus in the back of the garage like we had last time, they're just right there, and it's much easier. We also invested in this nifty little vacuum cleaner this time. It's the smallest one I could find. A little pricey. It was like $110 or something like that by Shark. But this little vacuum cleaner is a game changer. Kramer doesn't like it so much. And it plugs into the same outlet that our electric hot water heater plugs into. So it's always there, always charged, ready to clean up our messes. So now we're gonna hop back to the garage and show you what we have back there, and then also walk you around the exterior of our van. But it's raining, so just bear with us as we gotta get our raincoats on really fast. So welcome to our garage. Ugh, the door's heavy with the box on there. So just to run through basically how our garage is set up, on the driver's side of the van, we have our water, and then on the passenger side, we have all of our electric. So our water system consists of a 20-gallon freshwater tank, and it goes right over, it's made to fit over the wheel hub of the van to save space, which is really cool. We bought that from RV Components. And then back there, if you can see, we have the Bosch 4-gallon electric hot water tank. And then on the passenger side, this is like the belly of the beast right here. This is our electrical system, which is incredibly huge. We want to say a huge thank you again to AM Solar, Balaborn, Zamp, and Victron for all partnering with us on this van. You guys have blown us away with your generosity. But what we have here is 8 100 amp hour lithium ion batteries. That is a lot of battery power, but We had some really generous partners and some really helpful people who said, we want to equip you guys to go off-grid, to run the van, show us what you guys can do. And they helped us out immensely with these incredible batteries. So thank you guys. But our entire system was organized and designed by AM Solar. They're based out of Oregon. We worked with those guys last year, not sponsored at all. We just found them on Google and we loved working with them so much. We went back to them again this time and purchased all of our stuff again. So on the driver's side, the passenger side, and on the floor, we have 3 L-track systems. We use those L-tracks to hold everything in place in the garage so it doesn't fall around. So that's sort of the gist of the garage. And then you'll see these couple of random boxes. This is just like all of our bike gear, so helmets, you know, I think we have some extra running gear, water bottles, that kind of thing are in there. Kramer has his own little box of leashes, medicine. And you may be wondering what these boxes are built out of. We built each of these boxes out of the 1.5 inch 80/20 or extrusion aluminum angle. And that stuff was actually really fun. It was like adult erector sets. It was really easy to work with. It can be a little time consuming trying to figure out the best, most efficient connections. We're definitely not professional builders by any means, but we're really happy with this van. I mean, I feel like we've come such a long way from our first one, and it is truly our go anywhere, whenever adventure mobile that we were hoping for. And we're already having adventures. It's great. We do have 4-wheel drive in this new van, and we've sort of decked it out to go anywhere. So we're gonna show you all the stuff we've added to the exterior of the van. The first addition we added to the van was these black Rhino wheels, and they are the Overland model. Up here above the sliding door on the passenger side, we also have the Fiamma F80S awning. So it is a hand crank awning. We wanted the electric ones, but we've heard horror stories about them. So we ended up just doing the hand crank one, and it's not too difficult. Another one of our big splurges on our van was Illuminous gear. Now we went sort of all out on it. We bought the ladder from Illuminous for our first van. We use it all the time to clean our solar panels off, to check on the roof, just to get a better sunrise view. We bought this brush guard, which is also a light bar. So we have 4 Baja lights installed on the front, which, by the way, are a huge game changer if you're like us and you find yourself from time to time trying to find a camping spot at night. The brush guard works great. We hit a Christmas tree flying off somebody's truck going like 70 miles an hour after Christmas this year. Didn't even leave a nick on our bumper. So thank you, Illuminous. On both sides of the van, we have the Nerf bars, which are also by Illuminous. On the back of the van, we have our spare tire mount. And then next to it, we have the Deluxe box by Illuminous. And this is our sort of like the junk drawer of a house. You know how every house has a junk drawer? That's kind of what this is. This is where we throw everything messy that we don't want getting in our van. So things like our shoreline cable, water hose, stuff like that, hangers, like random things. We just toss it in here, and that way we don't have to deal with it. So behind the driver's seat of our van, we have our gray water tank mounted on the outside of the van. It's a 22-gallon gray water tank. Over on the passenger side of the van, where all of our electrical stuff is running down the side in the garage, we also have our shore power inlet. On the roof, we have our Max Air fan, our Nomadic cooling AC unit. We have 2 100-watt Zamp Obsidian solar panels. You've heard me say the plural we this entire video, and if you're new around here, you may be wondering who is the other person she's talking about. It's my husband, Chris. This is Chris.
I'm the cameraman on this video because look, it's a lot of van, it's a lot going on, and Sarah is so much better at explaining and understanding everything about the van than I am.
You may notice that this van is a lot. If you're looking at ideas for your own van, you say, that van's really expensive. We're not gonna lie, this van is a lot of van and it wasn't cheap. But thanks to some generous partners who came alongside us and said, hey, we really like what you guys are about. Our brand wants to partner with you. So that we had a lot of very generous partners in this van who made this incredible off-grid adventure mobile sprinter van conversion possible. Otherwise, we could never have afforded this much of our van. Our first van was a lot more modest than this. So if you're new to van life and you're starting out and you're getting ideas, van life is completely custom to your budget and to your needs. So don't feel like you have to have all of this. You can pick and choose parts if you like something in this van, but make it your own and make it fit for your lifestyle. We're really thankful for the opportunity to get to travel in something like this.
And if you want to learn more information about any of the products in our van or about the companies that we partnered with, you can go to the links down below.
If you're new around here and you want to catch up on our old van life adventures from the last 2.5 years, check out our other past videos. Just be forgiving, we've gotten slightly better over time.
And if you hit the subscribe button, you can see some of our new van adventures coming up in the near future. So we're excited to be here. We're excited to start traveling again and taking you guys with us. So
We're back on the road, y'all. See you soon.
oh yeah, I should say that.
Be sure to follow along on Instagram and like and subscribe here. It really helps creators like us.